You want to grow your farm, you want to get better, but you can't afford to quit working yet. Hello friends, here's 10 ideas for what you can do if you're in this position. My name is D.L. Lautenbach and you can follow me on YouTube. I have the link on my profile page. Number one, use a backgrounder or a feedlot to start carrying more cattle longer. So let's say your goal is to leave your full-time job in 6 years and then you want to start backgrounding and feeding some cattle over the winter. Start doing that now in a feedlot situation so you don't have that financial shock when you make the move over. The year that you back off from the town job, instead of sending the cows to the feedlot, you just keep them home and start feeding them those round bales that you put up in your retirement. Number two, could we double our herd by using things like corn stalks in the winter? So talking to Paige in northern Colorado, you can have cows on corn stalks for about $1.10 a day. That's not much more than putting up your own hay. So you could run those cows on corn stalks. That's that much hay you don't have to put up in the summer, giving you more time. And that's that much hay you don't have to feed in the winter. So that's a strategy you could use to increase your herd numbers. And Allen Nation talks about partnering with someone in a different region. You know, if you have fall pasture, find somebody in another region that has late winter and spring pasture and work together on something like that. Build those herd numbers as you build your farm. Number three, this is kind of an odd one, but put your farm growth on hold and maximize your 401k while you're at work in those last several years. And what this does, if you start putting $1,500 to $2,000 a month in your 401k, then that eliminates a bunch of the financial shock when you do hang up that town job. You know, if you're taking home $4,000 a month and that goes away, that hurts. But if you're only taking home $2,000 a month and you got $2,000 a month going in your 401k, that eases that initial monthly financial shock. So max out that 401k. Number four, just go old fashioned, get a hired man. You know, if you're uptown making operator wages, manager wages, go hire a part-time guy, a kid, or somebody to do the menial wage work that so many of us do. You know, if you're not going to your town job at 38 bucks an hour so that you can go hold a pitchfork, which is worth $11 an hour, find somebody else to do that. You know, give a young person a chance or a semi-retired person a chance to get out and enjoy a little bit of that work. So use hired help. Number five, make your life easier. Put the bull in a month later and wean the calves a month earlier. You know, will you gross as much? Maybe not, but you know what? You're going to get more live calves. You're going to have way less stress. You know, calve a little later in the spring so they're on grass and ready to go, and take them off a little earlier so you're not fighting the mud and things like that in October. Get a little bit more for your calves in August and September anyway. Number six, if you're a stocker operator, wait a little later into the spring to buy your calves. You know, don't think you have to go in with that credit line on the 1st of February and buy a bunch of calves so that you can feed them round bales for the next 3 months. Or, you know, buy them in the fall and use a custom feeder to feed them out so that when you know, they don't go out on pasture until the pasture is ready for the stockers. Number seven, sell the baler, right? I mean, if you run the numbers, very seldom does a tractor and a baler pay off to make hay for what you can buy it for or you can hire it done. Gordon Hazard never owned a tractor or a baler and ran 1,800 head. And he penciled it out. It was cheaper to bring in, to buy the hay, and it was a little cheaper to fertilize the pasture than it was to own the hay equipment. And that's a strategy you can use to carry yourself through the last 4 or 5 years of employment. And then something you can do when you get off work is go crank up the baler. Number eight, cull harder. You know, them bottom 20% of the cows are sucking you dry usually. They're eating the marginal feed. They're using all your marginal capital and their marginal time. But not only cull the cows, cull the fields and cull the work that's not making you money, right? the pasture that's on your way to work is a lot better for you than the pasture that's 15 miles the wrong direction. And we talked earlier about hired help. Cull out the menial jobs you're doing, hire it done, and let somebody else do it instead of you taking the time away from your town job. Number 9, fertilize your best ground. Get rid of the marginal ground and put fertilizer on your best ground. Put fertilizer on that pasture on the way to work instead of the pasture that's 19 miles out of your way. Just feed your best cows, fertilize your best ground. Number 10, do shit that works for you. Right? If you're working at a refinery and you've got to turn around in April and May of 2026, don't freaking put the bull in until 9 months before the end of the turnaround. If you're a football coach, fine, don't be weaning calves in the middle of football season. If the majority of your money comes from driving snowplow in the winter, lower your winter work. Eliminate a lot of that stress. Do stuff that works for you. Again, renting pasture on the way to work. Build your schedule. If you're a corn planter, if that's what you do, freaking calve in the fall. You're stuck in a tractor all spring. That's where your money comes from. Calve in the fall. Do the stuff that works with what you got going on. God bless you. One more time, I'm D.L. Lautenbach over on YouTube. For the 2% of you that made it to this part of the video, God bless you. I appreciate each and every one of you.